Martin Mamusa, the Director Civil Litigation, together with Mr. George Calemero. Okay, thank you very much. The Commissioner, Civil Litigation, Mr. Richard Adrole, Assistant Commissioner.
Since my brothers and sisters agree either unanimously or by majority concurrence of the orders proposed in this judgment of the Chief Justice, orders are hereby accordingly given in the terms proposed by the Honorable Chief Justice according to that ratio. Judgment is delivered to Kampala this 31st day of January 2025. As I said, we intend to obey you the soft copies of the judgment by close of business today.
On behalf of the respondent, we thank this court for this bold decision, and at the same time, as a senior lawyer, we also seek for forgiveness for some lawyers practice and utter issues they do not understand, which tend to undermine the essence of this court. My Lord, we are sorry on behalf of the General Society, but otherwise we are so grateful for the bold step this court has taken, and I think we have no way of expressing it. Thank you, my Lord. Much obliged.
Go to the General Court Martial.
Who are your clients?
Who are sentenced to 1,000 shillings in the General Court Martial. They will miss out on claiming.
That's why he's not dressed as a lawyer today. He thinks I was going to jail him.
We only grateful, my Lord.
You know
that you should never stop trying. We started this war in 2005.
Yes.
All through. Again, it started here with Dr. Kizza Besigye.
Yes.
When Uganda Law Society instructed us to commence constitutional proceedings against the court-martial. We attacked some parts. We did not succeed with some. The next was the Lord Mayor, who was supposed to be removed from the list
KCCA.
of contenders in KCCA on account that he was convicted together with his colleague here with an offense which the people termed at that time as one involving moral turpitude. They were fined 1,000 shillings in coins, each of them, and quite a number of others. It has been a long journey. To Mushabe Joseph and so on and so forth. And this has been used as a scarecrow to suffocate dissent in this country. If you knew the hundreds of young men detained in various prisons, and those are the lucky ones who did not die, detained in various prisons for wearing a red beret, for wearing a red overall, and so on and so forth. So far, at least as of today, that has been crushed. That scarecrow has been brought down. We thank God. We thank the judge for the bold decision, as we did say. It was a bold decision because everybody has reason to be scared. When Museveni speaks, people must run away. So never stop trying. We pray for those that have suffered injustice in the hands of the court-martial. We have consistently, persistently, and perennially been describing this as a kangaroo outfit, as a kangaroo establishment. If we were to go back today, notwithstanding the uneasiness with which we receive it as a subordinate court, I would address General Freeman Mugabe as Mr. Chairman of the subordinate court, then see how he would react, since he doesn't want to describe it as a tribunal. For Ugandans, keep trying, never give up. We shall overcome one day. Someday we will get there. I want to congratulate Honorable Michael Kabaziguruka, because I think all swords had been drawn to clear him. He was supposed to. Now that he's here, now that he has survived, I think he has also taken on the mantle on behalf of many, many silent Ugandans. There are only two people that are dangerous and choose to keep quiet. And the people who do not destroyed us. To the court, I think there were voices that expressed concern. The tone could have gone overboard. They had legitimate concerns. They are not all lawyers. Some actually did not know what was happening. The turbulence that the court has gone through, the frustrations, the death, the retirement, the failure to appoint justices of the Supreme Court, which is certainly not the mandate of this honorable court. We stand with those that have been grieving, those that have been crying, those that have expressed themselves. Now that this is over, we can walk back and exercise our democratic rights. I can tell you that this struggle continues on all the fronts. On the legal front, we shall still come back and confront the description of that thing, even as a subordinate court. In Parliament, we shall stand there and ensure that as they come back to amend the UPDF Act, or even the Constitution, they do not transgress. Those are values that we stand for, and we hold them so dear onto our hearts. Outside court, outside Parliament, please continue exercising your democratic rights, especially now that the scarecrow is down. By the way, if they were sensible enough, they have been represented. Today, they would not wait, because the Attorney General has been in court, the UPDF have been represented in court. They have no reason, no justification, not even ignorance. They can no longer plead ignorance. I know they have been ignorant for many years. They can no longer plead ignorance. It is their duty now to order the immediate release of Dr. Kiza Besigye, Obeid Lutale, Council Aaron Kiza, and all those young NUP activists that expressed their political aspirations. They should be released. Not today.
Order took off today.
The order takes immediate effect. Not today, but now.
Now.
Immediate effect means
serving.
now. Yeah. For those files, they have to transfer. They can transfer tomorrow. But for the release, tonight, today and now.
Of Monday has been declared unconstitutional.
And any continuous...
So it's not possible, because they are directed where Dr. Besigye and Obeid Lutale have to appeal. So now it cannot.
They don't even have the powers.
They don't have powers to convene again.
They have been disbanded.
Exactly. So literally.
And any detention now is illegal.
In effect, the court has been disbanded. Yes. No, you see, in as much as it's subordinate, in its current shape, cannot continue. It has been disbanded. The recommendation is go back, the order, go back, amend it reconstituted in accordance with the dictates of the Constitution. So they cannot proceed on Monday. Yeah. So that is the position.
And not even reconstitute and proceed with these cases. These ones have been terminated. Yes.
How do you feel?
Well, thank you so much. First and foremost, it is not a win for me, Michael Kabaziguruka. It is a win for the people of Uganda. It is a win for the democracy-seeking forces in this country, because the GCM has hitherto been used as a tool to fight anyone that is opposed to the bad leadership of General Yoweri Museveni. So I want to thank my legal team, led by the able Honorable Medal Lubega Segona, Councillor Samuel Muyizi, Councillor Alaka, and of course the Lord Mayor, Salong Elias Lukwago, for the battle that they fought so hard to reach here today. When General Museveni sat with some members of the IPOD back in 2016, he informed them that Kabaziguruka is finished, that I must finish Kabaziguruka. I was in jail at the time, but I read an article in the Observer where he says I tried to assassinate him and that therefore my end was near. So I thank Honorable Segona, who reached out to me and informed me and took over the responsibility of standing with me as my counsel in these matters. Of course, when I was arraigned before the GCM, I refused to accept their jurisdiction over me. And I remember at the time, I told the chairman, Lieutenant General Andrew Guti, that he was not fit to be a magistrate of any sort, and that therefore he had no authority to try me for an offense whose maximum sentence is death. He threatened to hold me in contempt of court, but I held resolute, I held steady, and I said, no, you have no jurisdiction over me. I even told him that I would represent myself in that GCM, that I did not recognize it as a court of law and that I had no business bringing a lawyer there. And I did not. I opted to file petitions in the civil court of the in the civil division of the High Court, in the criminal court, and then finally to the Constitutional Court. And here we are today.
The people of Uganda have spoken again and again, and it's important that when people speak, the courts get to listen. We are also glad that it's not just civilians that have benefited from this, but even serving military officers, because a number of them have been persecuted through the General Court Martial, and they had no recourse anywhere. They could not appeal. Because you see, the General Court Martial, they are the complainants, then they are the prosecutors in the General Court Martial. They are the ones that sit on the panel, the tribunal, to determine a matter. When you appeal to, again, a team of military fellows. It becomes problematic, and they also execute the same sentences, yeah? It is problematic in and of every sense. So we are glad that that has been rectified. Our hope is that now this court order will be followed with immediacy. Because many times courts of law issue orders, and they are disregarded. People have been freed on bail, and they are arrested within court precincts. Many times you've had General Museveni say, you courts, you want to take us back to those days, and that kind of thing. Our hope is that the court order will be respected with immediacy.
That is, and I mean, I shouldn't even be calling it a court, because the Supreme Court has clearly said it does not. It is even not a tribunal. It is something just there. So we are very glad, and we salute our comrades who refuse to plead guilty. Those 9 people who refuse to plead guilty. We have Bobby Young, who is still in detention, and many others who are still facing charges. Our comrade Achileo is still facing charges before that military court, and others. So we are very glad with this ruling. We hope, like my brother Lop said here, that General Museveni will now not devise means of trying to defeat this court ruling. But also this is a win for the people of Karamoja. Every time you go to Chitaria, you find hundreds of people from Karamoja who are taken to those military courts without any trial, and then taken to Chitaria. They spend there years and years without trial, without even going back to court.
Parliament who represents Ntenjeru South constituency from Buganda here, from Central Region, we are very, very happy with the court decision. The Supreme Court today has made a landmark victory. I must call it a victory, because all along we have been coming to court with already answered questions as to what will happen in court. But we usually respect court and not respect decisions. But we believe in the decisions, and now we respect the decisions taken by the Supreme Court. We are very, very delighted. As people who agitate for change, following the pronouncement of the Supreme Court, we are moving straight away to march in the military barracks to pick our people, because the pronouncement is immediate release of all people affected by the General Court Martial. So we are moving right away to collect our people. This is not particularly for politicians or for change seekers. It is for all Ugandans, because what we have been fighting is for the General Court Martial to try civilians. So we are very, very appreciative. And I take the honor to thank our lawyers, to thank Honorable Mike Kabazuguluka. Thank you so much. We are indeed delighted as Ugandans. We are indeed delighted as Parliament. So it is upon government whether or not they would want to bring amendments in the UPDF Act. That one is secondary. But to us, primarily what we have been agitating for is for civilians not to be charged in the military general court martial or military courts for whatever offense.
For this foundational, for this locus classicus decision that I have put down today, it is so instrumental to especially some of us who treasure jurisprudence. It is going to go a long way in shaping the jurisprudence of our country, especially the trial of civilians before the General Court Martial. Many have been tried and they have been subjected to the unfair processes before this outfit that has been holding out as a court of law. Well, we appreciate the Supreme Court for putting it out clearly that this is not a court of law. It is going to go a long way in shaping the constitutional history, in shaping the constitutional development in our country. And it is going to go further, a mileage, to shape, to restore the respect of the Constitutional Court, the respect of our judges, and the respect of the Supreme Court. Many people have started losing hope in the delays, in so many things, and the interpretations that come from this court, especially on this very subject, because we've had over 10 contradicting decisions, which were not putting out the position of the law clearly. But now it has set the record clear, and we would like to appreciate court for that.